Welcome, my brothers and sisters. Once again, I'm Father Michael. And as a member of the God Minute team, I get the opportunity to share with you our third conference on the Word. So thank you for joining me. The focus of our Word in these Lenten conferences is to identify and overcome those sins that we struggle with on a regular basis, and then try to work diligently through the week to give them up, let them go, or just overcome them altogether. So the word that I want to share on this week evokes a common sin that many struggle with in their lives' journey. It's the sin of judging. Yeah, I struggle with it too. Now, there is a good kind of judging, like judging a spelling bee or a fashion show or some other types of contests. Then there's the harmful kind of judging, the kind that moves us away from the Lord and often moves us away from each other. One thing I think we'll discover on this journey is how directly this sin has to deal with us more than it does with the others that we're judging. So let's explore that for a moment. Notice I use the word harmful instead of bad regarding this type of judging. You see, I think the act of judging another causes harm, not just to that person, but also to me. It says a lot about my perspective of how I believe others should act or talk or look or do things, and the list goes on. But ultimately, it says a great deal about how I see myself and some of the insecurities I have within. Let's be honest for a moment, okay? We are all judgmental. I think it's part of our human nature, and yet, while it is in our nature to be judgmental, I don't think it's always useful to us, and definitely not to our life journey. We look down on others as if we're better, and that creates division between people. I think we can all agree that such judgment has crept into our families, our schools, our churches, neighborhood, government, and our world, especially these days. Think about it for a second. We see someone, and based on their appearance or actions alone, we pass judgment on them. And not good judgment either. Usually without even knowing the person, we've passed judgment. And that moment of passing judgment is often the extent of our interaction with that person. That's it. It's just in that moment. Harm is done then when my judgment lacks knowledge and can grow out of some misguided ideas. Maybe I don't know everyone's full story, and I'm therefore ignorant of what most people are going through. Maybe I have an unrealistic and unjustified expectation of people. I need to look into that. Maybe I subconsciously believe that I'm somehow better than the people I'm judging, or I'm being a bit self-absorbed and egotistical. Maybe the truth is I'm jealous of what they have, and so my judgment may lead to saying things I shouldn't about them so that others will think less of them and more of me, leading to even more sins. Maybe I've lost sight of being grateful for my many blessings and striving to be more compassionate to those who aren't as fortunate as I am. And when I stand in judgment of another, well, I'm revealing a lot about my own insecurities and struggles, not to mention how much I leave myself vulnerable to the criticisms and gossip of others. So the question is, how do I stop judging? I know we are always searching for that simple little special thing we can do to resolve the problem. Unfortunately, there is nothing simple about the sin because it involves so many aspects of ourselves and the human condition. Perhaps one thing we could do, especially when it involves judging another person, is to totally reroute our thoughts and say just a little prayer for that individual. Just ask the Lord to bless them instead of us cursing them, and protect them in whatever way they need help today. Honestly, I think the greatest example and the greatest solution we have as people of faith is Jesus, whom we often don't tap into. He was perfect in all things, and yet he never stood in judgment of another. Why? Because everything he did, he approached with prayer and love. When you look at all the answers that are given for not judging, the common answer is love. We must approach others with the love of the Lord in our hearts. We must see the beauty of God before us in them. This gives us the immediate reminder, I don't know this person's story. I don't know their struggles, their fears, their limitations. All I really know is that standing before me is a beloved son or daughter of God, and that they deserve the same respect and care that I would show to any other person that I know, or that I would want shown to me. Approaching a person or situation with this kind of openness enables me to stop before I speak. It enables me to think before I act. It gives me the opportunity to grow closer to that person or accept that situation as another opportunity for me to grow, another opportunity for me to pray for a brother or sister. Approaching a situation or person with the acceptance and the love of Jesus will be transforming for each of us when we need to better accept our brothers and sisters. And although it may seem difficult at first, once it becomes a habit, we will have the freedom we deserve from our own limitations, struggles, and insecurities. And just maybe, the world will be a better place, one loving person at a time. Well, join us next time when the word we focus in on is self-worth. Sometimes I don't like what I see. Spoiler alert, it has a lot to do with our ability to become the person we desire to be. In the meantime, be good to yourself and continue to love the Lord above all things and those around you as well. May God bless you.